Hey guys, it's Brianna, and today we are back to talk about more books. It is the beginning of April, so you know what that means. We gotta talk about the books that we read in the month of March. If you read any good books in March, please leave the names down below so that I can check them out myself. I have a list on my phone of books people have recommended to me, so hopefully I can read them and include them in future videos. And stick around because this video is actually a little collaboration with another YouTube channel called Life After Neverland. And they are awesome. They do all kinds of pop culture and TV videos and stuff like that. So if you are interested in television and pop culture, you definitely have to check them out. We decided to do a little collaboration in this video. Basically what we did is I gave Karen a book to read for the month of March, and she gave me a book to read for the month of March. We both read both of the books, and we're going to give you our thoughts on them just so you can get multiple different perspectives on some of the different reads that we're interested in. And the main reason I wanted to do something like this is because I think I get trapped in genres that I like and authors that I like a little bit too much. I read a lot of the same authors, a lot of the same genres, like murder, mystery, sci-fi type of stuff, a lot of Stephen King, Ruth Ware. You guys have heard the names before. You're going to hear them again, I'm sure. But I think the main reason I wanted to do this little collaboration is because it's really good to get recommendations on books that you otherwise probably wouldn't have picked up. So I'm gonna continue this video as usual, but I will let you know when we get to the collaboration books. So I read 3 books this month. I was hoping to read more, to be quite honest, especially because like everybody has a shit ton of time on their hands right now, but I only read 3, which is a little bit weird, but that's okay. The first book that I read, I feel a little bad about because it is a library book, and I'm holding it hostage right now because the library is closed. They extended all the due dates on a bunch of the books that were checked out because obviously of the virus going around, but I've had this book for so long. It is called The Borrower by Rebecca Mackay, and I picked this book up because it was in the staff picks section of the library. It just kind of caught my eye. I read the description and I was like, maybe I'll check that out. It was copywritten in 2011, and it is 320 pages long, and I will read you the description. Lucy Hull, a young children's librarian in Hannibal, Missouri, finds herself both kidnapper and kidnapped when her favorite patron, 10-year-old Ian Drake, runs away from home. The precocious Ian is addicted to reading but needs Lucy's help to smuggle books past his overbearing mother, who has enrolled Ian in weekly anti-gay classes. Lucy, a rebel at heart beneath her librarian's exterior, stumbles into a moral dilemma when she finds Ian camped out in the library after hours with a knapsack of provisions and an escape plan. Desperate to save him from the Drakes, Lucy allows herself to be hijacked by Ian. The odd pair embarks on an improvised road trip from Missouri to Vermont with ferrets and an inconvenient boyfriend thrown in their path. Along the way, Lucy struggles to make peace with her Russian immigrant father and his fugitive past, and is forced to use his shady connections to escape discovery. But is it just Ian who is running away? Who is the strange man on their trail? And should Lucy be trying to save a boy from his own parents? So I read that and I was intrigued, so I picked it up. If you see me looking down at my phone, it's because I have my notes on here. I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. I was a little bit disappointed by it, to be honest. I think the main thing that I didn't like about it was that it took way too long to hook me. I think I've mentioned this in videos before, but if a book doesn't hook me in like the first 100 pages, then it's really hard for me to continue to read it. But I forced myself to keep reading. I am glad I did. But there were so many moments when I would think like, okay, this is getting interesting, and then I'd get bored again, or I wanted to stop reading altogether. So I think that's where this book is a little bit tough. It's just like, it takes a while for you to get invested in it. However, once I did get invested in it, it was a super quick and easy read, and it was really enjoyable. I think that it's definitely a really cute story, and if you're interested in sort of like coming of age, hero's journey type stories that also tackle like mental health, I think this is definitely a good read for you. So I guess those are the kinds of people that I would recommend this book to. I also did enjoy that it had a lot of references to other literature, obviously, because it is about a librarian and a little boy who loves books. So that was kind of cool to see like some of the other things that I've read referenced in this book. So if you're somebody who likes that kind of thing, like little Easter eggs, then you'll probably enjoy this. But I did give it 3 out of 5 stars. So if you're going to read any of the books that I suggest in this video, I would say maybe don't read this one. The next book that I read was actually my choice in the collaboration with Karen of Life After Neverland, and I chose The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. I've been wanting to read this book for a while. I've read some of her other books, The Lying Game and The Death of Mrs. Westaway, which I have talked about in past book review videos if you want to check those out. But I think this is like her most famous book. This book was copywritten in 2017. It is 340 pages long, and I will see if I can find a summary of it online, because I've said this before, but for some reason Ruth Ware doesn't put like a summary of her books on the back or on the inside cover or anything, so I'll have to look it up. In this tightly wound, enthralling story reminiscent of Agatha Christie's works, Lo Blacklock, a journalist who writes for a travel magazine, has just been given the assignment of a lifetime, a week on a luxury cruise with only a handful of cabins. The sky is clear, the water's calm, and the veneered select guests jovial as the exclusive cruise ship the Aurora begins her voyage in the picturesque North Sea. At first, Lo's stay is nothing but pleasant. The cabins are plush, the dinner parties are sparkling, and the guests are elegant. But as the week wears on, frigid winds whip the deck, gray skies fall, and Lo witnesses what she can only describe as a dark and terrifying nightmare, a woman being thrown overboard. The problem? All passengers remain accounted for, and so the ship sails on as if nothing has happened, despite Lo's desperate attempts to convey that something or someone has gone terribly, terribly wrong. With surprising twists, spine-tingling turns, and a setting that proves as uncomfortably claustrophobic as it is eerily beautiful, Ruth Ware offers up another taut and intense read in The Woman in Cabin 10, one that will leave even the most sure-footed reader restlessly uneasy long after the last page is turned. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this, although it is not my favorite of the Ruth Ware books that I've read, which I think is surprising for some people. For most people that are fans of her, I think this is their favorite book of hers, and I do really, really like it. It's definitely a great read. I would recommend this book to anybody. But I preferred The Lying Game over this one, actually, which I think is kind of a unpopular opinion. There were 2 major cons for me about this book. One was that there were a lot of named characters that I felt like didn't need to be named, and it sort of made it a little bit confusing. I find that I'm somebody that gets confused by too many characters pretty often, and I feel like when authors are able to make it a little more simple and pared down, like I don't mind having lots of characters, but it's when some of those characters have similar names or they're similar in nature, I think it's hard for me sometimes to keep track of who's who. So that was one of the major cons for me about this book. The other con that I had was that there were a few things in here that just were not believable for me, and I think believability is very important to me when it comes to books, TV shows, things like that. Like, I understand that this is fiction, obviously, but in order for it to be good fiction, it needs to be really, really believable. And some of the scenes I was just like, that wouldn't really happen kind of thing, or like, oh, they wouldn't have been able to pull that off. So those were the main cons, and those were the only reasons that I knocked it down from 5 stars. But overall, I loved this book. It kept me on edge. It kept me wanting to read more. And there were some surprising twists that I didn't expect. I also really enjoyed the ending of this book. And I really enjoyed the main character as well. I think Lo was really well done, so I appreciated that. I would really recommend this book to anybody, but especially to fans of Ruth Ware and fans of murder mysteries. This is definitely a super in-depth mystery, so if you like that kind of thing, this is the book for you. I hope Karen enjoyed this book, but I guess we'll find out. I'll insert a little clip of what she had to say about this book, and also about the next book that I'm about to talk about.
Hey BriLee! Corinne over here from Life After Neverland. For those of you that don't know, BriLee was so kind to let me jump in on her book review. I thought it'd be so much fun to see what type of book she might choose for me, and hopefully she thought the same. Maybe I chose a book that you wouldn't normally pick up, BriLee, so hopefully you enjoyed my book. BriLee's book was a psychological thriller. This book was so amazing. The reasoning why is I normally watch the movies. I love psychological, scary, suspenseful movies, and I would never think to pick up a book and actually read one. I'm more of a nonfiction girl, and so BriLee, thank you so much. I loved this book. It was so much better than watching a movie, and I couldn't put it down. I thought, I'm not going to get these books read in 2 months because I take a very long time to read. I get distracted very easily, and I was so into it. It went so quick because I couldn't put it down. I was that into it. So this book is amazing. Super good read, and the people are from England, so they've got like an English slang. I wasn't expecting that. I like that a lot. And my book was Ricochet. Now, Ricochet is a real dog. You can check her out on YouTube. She helps children that are autistic or have disabilities and adults that have PTSD. She literally changes lives, this dog, and this is her story. So you guys, your entire heart will never be the same after reading this book. And I feel like I want to meet Ricochet so badly, I can't even stand it. Really, thank you for including us. I really appreciate it. I think you're wonderful and amazing. You guys, this was beautiful. Thanks for letting me join in. I can't say that enough. God bless you all. I hope you're healthy and you're safe and all is well. Thanks so much, you guys. Bye-bye.
Another quick thank you to Karen from Life After Neverland for reading The Woman in Cabin 10, because I think it's a little bit outside of her normal comfort zone when it comes to genres of books, so I hope she enjoyed it. And her choice was definitely outside of my comfort zone when it comes to books, and it is called Ricochet, Riding a Wave of Hope with the Dog Who Inspires Millions. So she said that she was really interested in stories that are like inspirational, uplifting kind of thing, and those aren't necessarily the books that I gravitate towards, but I was really glad that she picked this book because I actually really did enjoy it, and I kind of didn't have the highest hopes, not because I think she would pick a bad book, but just because it's definitely something that I wouldn't have picked up myself. I mean, obviously, when you see this cute face on the cover, though, you're like, ooh, how can you not like a story about a cute dog, you know? There's also a YouTube little logo on here, so if you want to learn more about Ricochet, I believe there's a YouTube channel you can find that has videos of this dog in there. This book is by Judy Fredono with K. Baltz. I probably butchered that last name. It's copywritten in 2014, and it is a total of 250 pages, so definitely a quicker read, and there's also some super cute pictures in here. Like, I mean, come on now. Who doesn't love a cute little face? Let me read you the description. After suffering a life of loss, Judy Fredono began training service dog puppies to make a positive difference in the world. Her puppy prodigy, Ricochet, showed boundless potential, surpassing every milestone. But out of the blue, the puppy with so much promise completely lost her focus to train, preferring to chase birds on the beach instead. Regretfully, Judy had no choice but to release Ricochet from the service dog program, leaving her disappointed and disheartened. But the presumed detour became a journey of infinite possibilities when Ricochet found her doggy destiny in the most unexpected of places, on a surfboard. When Judy finally embraced Ricochet's true calling, amazing things began to unfold. Then the four-legged student became the teacher, showing Judy and the world just how much good one dog can do. Because of Ricochet's gift, a teenager with a debilitating spinal cord injury received the much-needed therapy to walk at his high school graduation. A young boy with autism finally found his voice, and a soldier trapped by post-traumatic stress regained his freedom. These and many more inspiring stories reveal how Ricochet is on a mission to transform countless lives by pawing it forward. A true autobiography about the healing power of an ordinary dog with an extraordinary spirit, Ricochet is a reminder to stay true to ourselves, celebrate our uniqueness, and appreciate the vast ocean of potential inherent in each of us. So obviously this book is nonfiction. It is a true story about a real dog named Ricochet that helps people with disabilities, sort of like a service dog situation. Out of 5 stars, I would give this like 4.5 stars. There's not much bad to say about it. It definitely is true to what you expect of this book. It's very inspirational. There's a lot of really cool stories, and I thought I might be bored because it was nonfiction. And more like autobiography style, but Judy has a really good way of telling it like a story, so I liked that a lot. I think the only thing that I didn't like about it was certain parts that I didn't need as many details for were drawn out a lot, and a lot of things were not elaborated on that I wanted to know about. Like, for example, Judy talks about some of her own personal struggles, but she didn't get into too much detail about them, so I was kind of interested to learn more about that. So that was the main reason I knocked it down like half a star. But overall, I really enjoyed this book. If you're somebody who's interested in super inspirational, uplifting stories, and this is definitely for you. If you want like a little positive pick-me-up book, you should read this for sure. Also, if you're a dog lover, this is definitely for you. Or if you're interested in surfing, this is really interesting. The way they talk about how Ricochet was trained to surf and all of the other handlers that help with the people with disabilities, it's kind of interesting just to hear how all of that stuff kind of works. So definitely a good pick, and thank you, Karen, for choosing this book because I never would have picked this myself, and it turned out to be my top favorite of the month. So thank you. And that's that, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I know everybody has a ton of time on their hands right now, so reading is one of the best things you can do at that time. Like I said before, leave a comment below if you have read any of these books, or if you read any other good books this month. Let me know what those are so I can check them out. And be sure to check out Life After Neverland. I will link them down below. I'll link down Karen's video so you can check out her thoughts on the books that we read this month. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next month for another book review video. Bye!